Okay, important question. Am I streaming? I have to check like every time. All right, just started streaming. Okay, awesome. Let me make sure that I can. Let me mute myself, I guess, for purposes. Okay. All right, I have to advertise to everybody now, so please hang tight. This will take just probably a couple minutes, but. Anyway, if anybody's in yet, well, thanks for being super early. I don't really expect anybody to be in super early quite yet. So, but let me just go ahead and say hi. My name is Nam. I'm a sleight of hand magic enthusiast, and I started streaming pretty recently. This is my 6th stream on Twitch. I'm not even an affiliate yet. So actually, let me just say the achievements. So first of all, I am a video gamer. I do like to game, and Twitch. If you are not aware, like if you're not a streamer, they have somehow created the gamification of streaming because there's so many achievements, and I'm like, I want to get those achievements. So I'm kind of like, oh, let me see what I can get. Okay, I think I'm done advertising. Um, Let me also turn on the trick list if anybody wants to request anything for the moment. Okay, just turned it on. All right, great. Let me make sure my boss tricks are up to date. Okay, boss tricks, yep. And then let me make sure we've got some stuff. Okay. All right, I'm also going to be prepping a trick just in case there's particular audience members where if I end up getting them and they request the right trick, this is going to be amazing. So I'm going to prep that right now. So um, let's see here. Okay, let's see. Let's see if anybody has joined in and lurking. I am simply just prepping a potential trick that could occur if somebody happens to request the right trick and that happens to be the right somebody. It'll be amazing. So that's currently all I'm doing at the moment. I'm done with prepping. Just gonna let these dry. And I have them just in case. All right. Sorry about my voice. Okay. All right. So, how's everybody doing tonight? All right. If anybody is around, feel free to say hi, or if you're lurking, that's fine. My name is Nam. I am a sleight of hand magic enthusiast. I mostly do card tricks on stream, and I've actually co-opted the, it's over here, StreamerSonglist so that people can request magic tricks. And if you don't know what to request, you can type in !random to put something in the list. But if you're interested in browsing it, you can do !TL for the trick list link. Oh, hey! Welcome to Taladar! Speak of the devil, Taladar actually helped me with some CSS so that I don't have to have the default titles for these. So this was like song or title, and then this was artist. So we were able to come up with a solution so that it's probably better if I do this, because now you can actually read the damn thing. There you go. A little bit better. So yeah, trick creator. Let's see. So let's see. Welcome to my 6th stream. This is currently my 6th stream. And yes, Taladar, Sleight of Code. Excellent. I should probably be better at Sleight of Code because I am actually a software engineer. But you know, sometimes it doesn't come naturally, especially not front-end code. But the CSS was okay; it was manageable. Let's see. So first things first. From previous streams, we have boss tricks. So there's 2 boss tricks for tonight. So if anybody ends up requesting those, we will attempt to fight the boss trick. Or if I get really antsy, I may just add them to the list at some point. But a boss trick is a trick that I tried to perform in the past and did not succeed. So there we go. I'm also feeling a little something in my throat, so it's not quite, I may cough. I apologize ahead of time, I'm sorry. Luckily, I think the internet filter will filter that out. But anyway, I guess while we're waiting, if anybody wants to see a trick, we can go ahead and do one. Let me go ahead and just randomly put one into the queue. And we will be able to perform this trick. Oh, and then Taladar has actually, you know what? The one that I put in doesn't matter as much. Let's do Taladar's first. So we're going to go ahead and do that one. Let's see. Rearrange. Cool. All right. So I'm just prepping at the moment. We are just grabbing some black cards and red cards. Okay, let's see. Did I actually move it? Oh yeah, I did move. Okay, cool, excellent. All right, so how's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing well. Taladar, are you doing okay? Let's see here. Okay, now I can hear. Had some epic music from the Discord hang in Rob server. Ah, okay, totally makes sense. Totally understandable. Just making sure you can hear me and it's not like an audio problem on my side, right? Hopefully not. Okay, cool. All right, so Taladar has requested oil and water. So for anybody who is unaware, oil and water is a common plot in card magic in which we are going to attempt to mix black cards and red cards. So here we have 4 red spot cards and we have 4 black spot cards. And the thing with these is that we're going to try and mix them, but hopefully because of the trick, actually I'm going to make one substitution really quick and not with the incorrect deck. I just like to have a balance of diamonds and hearts and spades and clubs. But anyway, so these are all normal. This is an impromptu trick. You can actually do this with a borrowed deck. And So first things first, we're going to go ahead and turn the red spot cards face down over here. Okay. Next, we are going to go ahead and pick up the black spot cards into my hand over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do something interesting. We're going to slowly interweave them. Okay, so look, if I go ahead and do this, black, red, got it? Okay, cool. We'll do it again. Here we go. Black, red. Okay, black, red, black, and red. Now, when you try and mix oil and water together, what do? They separate. It's not instantaneous. You do have to wait a second. Sometimes it takes 20 minutes. So this trick will now take 20 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's actually probably done right now. So if we go ahead and take a peek at the top card, that's a red card. And if we go ahead and take a peek at the bottom card, that's actually a black card. But if you did not realize, all of the red cards have actually floated up to the top right here. And then all of the black cards have floated down, or sorry, sunken down to the bottom. Verbs are hard. Words, 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 words. So, that's okay. If you were not impressed, I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Okay. So, the big difference between last time and this time was that we started with a black card last time. But you know what? Let's go ahead and start with a red card this time. Okay, so red, black, red, black, and you know, we can speed this up. So red, black, and now if I go ahead, we can wait 20 minutes. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, all right. If I just separate them right now, we can say that the cards have separated. Now, I could just end the routine right here, and that would be a comedy routine. Ha ha! All right. But it would be way more impressive if they actually separated, right? So, let's go ahead and take a look. Last time we took a peek at the top card, which was red, but we started with red this time, right? So, oh, red. So it's floated up to the top. Logically consistent. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bottom card. Ah, black. Black has sunken down to the bottom. Great. And so now if we go ahead and continue, red, black, red, black, red, and of course, black. And that is my handling and performance of oil and water. All right. Let's see. Taladar says, nice and lol. Well, thanks for the nice. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully that was interesting and fun. Yeah, I don't know what my schedule for streaming is going to be, and I found that I'm super exhausted during the week. So this past week I worked a lot after hours for work, and I was too exhausted. But I'm like so close to getting affiliate, so I have to stream this time and one more time before Tuesday, and then I think I at least get through the minimum required number of streams for affiliate. So as soon as I get that, then I can maybe relax a little bit. I think I was intending maybe once a week, but at the moment it's not very consistent. Let's see here. I'm going to prep for the next trick, which is one that I randomly put into the queue. I do want to be a little bit, I do want to prep for it really quick, so let me just take a quick check here and just make sure that I don't mess it up. Okay, this was facing the wrong way. Great. Alright, glorious. Let's see, I remember I was trying... Delder says, I remember when I was trying for that, I rated Rachel Grace Violin and forgot to end stream for 7 hours and had 0.1 average views. Yeah, I remember like for my first 2 streams, I went an additional, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. So basically, at the end of those streams, you'll see me, like, you know, chatting in the raiders, or chatting in the raidee. Is that the person that we call the person that we raid? The raidees chat for a little bit. So let's see, Mike 2600. Hello, welcome in, Mike. How's it going? You've requested French twist. You know what? I randomly put in the other trick, so let's go ahead and bump up yours so that we just go ahead and do that instead. Because I'm here to perform magic for you guys, and if there's nobody, I can practice some stuff. So there's always stuff to do. First time chatter. Mike 2600. All right. French twist is one of my favorites. Excellent. Mike, how did you find me? And/or are you from BAM? So for anybody who is not aware, I'm part of a little friend group that we called BAM, and it originally stood for Beer and Magic. But some of us don't drink beer, or some other people didn't drink beer, so we call it Booze and Magic. So that is basically that. All right, French twist, excellent. Let's see. I follow you on YouTube and saw a T-Card chat you out on a recent stream. Oh, you were the Mike that told me that you saw my 100 tricks in 100 days, and you said, hey, so then you followed me, and I was like, thank you. I think I said, thank you kindly. So, by the way, that was super awesome that you said that you found me on YouTube and saw me because of that, because I was like, oh, I was able to, like, yes, yes, same guy, awesome. All right, cool. All right, let me go ahead and switch over to this. Okay, first things first. This trick requires the 4 aces. We have the ace of spades, the ace of diamonds, the ace of clubs, and the ace of hearts. And the thing about this is that there's something strange afoot. And let me just say that these aces have this strange behavior. Now, if anybody's familiar with twisting the aces, it's going to be a similar plot, but let's just go ahead and do that. So what's going to happen is I'm going to hold the packet of cards in my hand, and actually they're all going to be these aces, and if I go ahead and hold the packet and I shake a little bit, the aces are going to turn up one at a time. So if I go ahead and hold the pack like this and just give it a little bit of a shake, believe it or not, that's actually going to turn up the ace of hearts. Now, if I just go ahead and I show you, all the cards are face down. But look, if I hold the pack and I give it a little bit of a shake, believe it or not, that's going to go ahead and turn up the ace of clubs. Now, if I show you, all the cards are face down. But if I go ahead and I hold the pack and I give it a little bit of a shake, believe it or not, that's going to turn up the ace of diamonds. Now, I swear that the ace of spades is the last one. And once again, I will show you that all 4 cards are face down. But if I hold the pack and I give it a little bit of a shake, we're actually going to see that the ace of spades has turned itself face up. And that, my good friends, is how you take 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, holding the pack, and you give it a little bit of a shake. And believe it or not, that's how you get them to turn the other way. But wait, I have one more thing to show you. And it's a little bit strange. Let me just go ahead and just fan out the rest of the deck, because you'll probably be wondering later if that was the case, and I can assure you this is actually the case. If I go ahead and I place the aces here and I cut them into the middle, there's this new thing that I'm working on in which I hold the whole deck like this and I vigorously shake the whole deck. Alright, do you guys think that's enough shaking? No, that's 4 aces. We got to shake a little bit more. Got to make the sounds. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And actually, with all of that vigorous shaking, would you believe that the 4 aces have turned themselves face up? And that is my handling and performance of French Twist, as requested by Mike 2600. Thanks for the request, Mike. Thanks for the claps, Taladar. Let's see, just curious, Mike, do you practice Magic, or are you like an enthusiast that watches Magic? Just curious. In the meantime, I'm going to take a sip of my tea. Awesome. Well, I don't know if you know, Mike, there are a couple of other streaming magicians also on Twitch. So you obviously know about T-Cards already, but let's go ahead and give some shout-outs to other magicians that stream. So let me see here. If anybody doesn't know T-Cards is a magician. He does have a variety stream, so he'll stream video games, or he'll stream just chatting. He sometimes plays music, but he also does magic. So he's actually performed at the Magic Castle as well. Let's see if anybody also does not know InfoXar. He is also, and he'll say he's an amateur magician. I think he's been practicing for way longer than I have, so I would call him a magician. But he also streams, and we also have Hallowthorn. And InfoXar and Hallowthorn used to refer to each other as the other half of Magic Twitch. And then when I showed up, they were like, ah, yes, Crazy Asian, the third half of Magic Twitch. So, yeah, so they're all great guys. So if anybody's looking for more Twitch streams that streams Magic, these are probably the people to go to. So let's see here. Let's see a little bit about me for anybody who just joined in or is lurking. Hi, my name is Nam. I am a sleight of hand magic enthusiast. I enjoy performing card tricks mostly. That's basically what I'm doing. And let's see, I have co-opted the StreamerSonglist, so you might notice there's this thing right here, and if anybody wants to request a magic trick, if you know what the names of magic tricks are, you can go ahead and do that. If you type in !TL, you can view my trick list. Otherwise, you can just type in !random to put a random one into the queue. Let's see, Mike says, haha, and I thought I was the only one when I started doing magic streams during COVID. Oh, you do magic streams? All right, or at least you did. Let me see. Let me first give you a follow, Mike. Do you still stream? All right, I'm going to shout out Mike 2600 anyway, just because there's a chance you still do. Okay, check the one I did a couple of days ago. All right, awesome. Cool. Let's give Mike 2600 a shout out also. Sweet. All right. Can't wait. Yeah, I'm trying to find like more people that stream so that we can either connect or whatnot. So, all right. So those are the people that I've found that stream magic on Twitch. Let's see. So, what do we have here? I myself have been practicing magic for only a few years, since 2019. So I actually started well before pandemic, and then I got comfortable enough to practice with people or live, but then the pandemic happened, and I was like, I can't practice. How do I do this? So then I made a ton of YouTube videos, and here we are. So now I'm on my next hobby, which is streaming sleight of hand magic. So, all right, cool. Let's see. Okay, so we have a trick coming up that I have randomly put in the queue, and it is the 4-card trick. So I was able to do a modified version of this for a very specific audience that had a bonus kicker. But this is going to be the standard version of it. So let's go ahead and do this. So this is the 4-card trick by Alex Elmsley. And as you would imagine, a 4-card trick, almost mandates there's 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. The special thing about these cards is that they are all blank. So there's actually nothing on them. Okay. But if we think about this very, very hard, and all right, I just want you guys to imagine a card just drawing itself. And not just any card, maybe a card that could represent anything. And a lot of people would consider those to be wild cards. So what's wild? In the game of Crazy Eights, it's eights. In most other games, it's like a joker. So if we just go ahead and create a joker, that's what a joker would look like, just randomly. So anyway, if we go ahead and I take this joker, okay, and we go ahead and just place it into the middle of this packet, right? You'll be able to tell which one is the joker because it's going to be very clearly printed on the face, like so. But now I'm just going to go ahead and pull the essence of the joker out of the packet. And Mike 2600, I think you're here in chat. Let me just go ahead and hand it to you through the internet pipes. So just hold on to it for a second. Okay. Joker received. All right, you got it. Great. Thank you. Thank you kindly. All right. Now, if you couldn't tell, the Joker essence has now left this packet. And if I just go ahead and I count through again, you'll see that the Joker is now gone. And, it's definitely gone. And so now all the cards are facing the same direction. They're all blank. But now, go ahead and send the Joker back through the internet pipes. I'm going to get ready to grab it. So here we go. And okay, I think I have it. Oh, that's a great emote. Excellent. So I'm now going to go ahead and place the Joker essence back into this packet. So thanks for holding on to it for me, Mike 2600. So now, if we go ahead and count through the cards, you'll be able to see that the Joker has manifested itself once again. Now, some people will probably say, oh, that was Sleight of Hand. And I'm like, I practice Sleight of Hand, so it would probably be a very good conclusion to jump to. But if I show you that the front of the Joker is easy to tell apart from the rest of the cards because the face of these cards are all blank. What you may not know is that when you send cards through the internet pipes and have people on them, holding on to them, and they send them back, there could be some weird corruption or things might be received a little bit differently. And so we can also tell the Joker from its back because its back will look completely different. It will look maybe like it's a different colored back. And that is my handling and performance of Alex Elmsley's 4-card trick. All right. All right, thanks for the yas, Mike 2600. Yeah. I'm simply trying to read that. Let's see. All right, if anybody is around and they want to request a trick, the queue is currently empty, so now would be a good time. Let's see. So I'm just going to talk about magic for a minute or two to see if anybody requests anything, but otherwise. So I guess Mike, 2600, if you are here and you have any questions about like my 100 tricks in 100 days project, I like talking that up because it was a very ambitious project. But if anybody else is not familiar, I took it upon myself to record, record, and upload 100 tricks in 100 days, real calendar days. So, what would the 101st trick be? Oh, so long story short, after that project was done, I actually continued, but instead of one a day, I did one a week. So if you look at my channel, there's more. It's just so since April, so I finished the project like second week of April, and after that, every week has been one trick. I think usually I publish it on Mondays. So there's probably like 2, 4, 6, 8, maybe 8 or 9 since. So you can still take a look at those. But if anybody's not familiar with that, this is a good time to plug my 100 tricks. So if you want to check out my promo video, I made one that's and then it explains the whole project. It has the playlist of all 100 tricks. And then if anybody else wants to check out my YouTube, there's my YouTube. So yeah, super aggressive project. I got stressed out during the project towards the end because like I kind of had like the first 60 tricks. Like I knew the first 60 tricks pat, and after that I was sometimes learning tricks on the same day that I was going to record and upload them, and so that got super stressful. But I learned a lot of tricks really fast, so I was super proud of myself when I did that. I didn't even realize I was going to do the project until I'm like, wow, I haven't really missed a day except for a couple days in which I did this other thing. But I had to release 3 videos on the last day just to make sure it was 100 tricks in 100 calendar days. So, yeah. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put a random one into the queue. Man, random really likes this one. That's okay. That means I practice it a lot, and that means I'm gonna get good. People on the internet tell me to get good all the time, and so that's what I'm trying to do. Get good at magic. Let's see. Oh, we have a first-time chatter. Viola Narlificent. Nam, can we see your version of Triumph? Well, I suppose the answer is yes. So I have, let me see which Triumph. I've got 2 Triumphs in my list, Triumph Squared and Play It Straight Triumph. Unless you want Classic Triumph, in which case, let me know. But welcome in, Viola Narlificent. Okay, I'm going to have to just get Narlificent in my head. Squared, okay, excellent. Yeah, we can do that. So let me go ahead and just add that. If anybody is familiar with StreamerSonglist, I co-opted it to allow people to request. I'm going to go ahead and use exclamation point TR and type in Triumph Squared. That will add it to my queue. And I'm going to go ahead and just move that up to the top. So you don't have to do the other one. I just added that at random. So we'll do that. Okay. I am going to take out jokers for this one because I don't like it when jokers are just randomly selected for this. Okay, so first of all, we have a deck. It can be shuffled, it can be a borrowed deck, it's all perfectly fine. If anybody is curious, this is called Triumph Squared. So there's a classic Triumph trick in card magic. Its plot is going to be slightly different than this one, but this one is called Triumph Squared. It is from a book called Principia, which was written by Harapan Ong, as you can see from the, let me see, right there. Harapan Ong, okay, cool. So first things first, we are going to cut the deck into about two equal-ish halves. They don't have to be perfectly equal, but okay. Next, we will need a couple of cards selected. I guess in the interest of selection, let's see. Viola, if you are going to be, if you would like to select a card, I'll just spread a bunch here, and let's pretend there's about 23-ish. If you just want to choose a number between 1 and 23, this will be 1. This will be as far as it goes up. So go ahead and type in a number between 1 and however many you see. 12. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, is that the card you would like? Just to be absolutely certain. You know, a magician say, hey, you want to change your mind? This is, okay, all right, this is going to be the card. So I'm going to turn it up. It doesn't actually matter that I know what it is, but just trust me on that one. I could do this without, no, actually, in the trick, we do reveal it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to flip it over, and this will be the first selection. So the 3 of hearts is going to be the first selection, and we're going to know that it's the 3 of hearts because I'm going to actually leave it face up in this packet. Okay, so and you'll see that the rest of these cards are not actually face up, so it'll be the only one. And now we're going to do the same for this one. So Viola, if you go ahead and just name a number between 1 and, well, it has to be about 26. So if you just want to name a number between 1 and whatever, hopefully that will be the next selection. 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to grab this one. Would you like to change your mind? That's the card. Okay, no changing of the mind. Okay, this card is going to be the King of Spades. All right, cool. So we're just going to go ahead and stick that face up into this packet. Okay. And now what we are going to do is we're going to do something horrific. And this is like the trademark of all triumph tricks. We are going to flip this packet face up, and we're going to shuffle face up into face down cards. Yes, I know, it pains me, but somebody requested a triumph trick, and therefore that's what we have to do. So if you guys watch, I'm just going to go ahead and slowly push these in together like so. Oh, all right, I'm just going to breathe, make sure that there's nothing wrong going on. You'll see sometimes that we get some face up cards, see sometimes we get face down card, and so on. Okay. All right, but we're now going to do one thing that makes this trick amazing. I'm going to use the shadow of my hand and place it over the deck. So believe it or not, my shadow, I've also taught sleight of hand magic. My shadow actually knows how to do this trick. But all of the mechanics for the trick are being done by the shadow right now. Okay, and would you believe it? The shadow has fixed the deck. Every card in this pack has now turned itself facing in the same direction. Of course, Viola requested this specifically. I'm sure Mike is aware of triumph plots. So the trick is done. Because now if I spread, you're going to see every card is facing the same direction. Sorry, except for 2. This card and this card. Any guesses as to what they might be? And if you had guessed the 2 selections from earlier, the King of Spades and the 3 of Hearts, you'd be right. And that is my handling and performance of Triumph Squared. All right. Thanks for the very nice, and thanks for the magic emotes. Thanks, Mike and Viola. So yeah, anybody who is interested in magic, that is the Harapan Ong trick. He is a Singaporean teacher, also magician, and actually one of the other magicians, Hallowthorn. Hallowthorn is also Singaporean and has actually hung out and met Harapan. Is actually in the same magic circles with him. So that's pretty cool. All right, let me get set up for the other random one that I placed in the queue. After this, the queue will be empty, so if anybody would like to request any other tricks, feel free. But yeah, the one thing I really like currently about streaming is that I wanted to have like real-time feedback. Like I like doing the tricks on YouTube and stuff, but there's not like any people interaction. So I've started like performing again when I go out. So I went to like a family friends, their high schoolers, high school graduation. I guess that they're graduated now, so they're not a high schooler anymore. But I showed basically a bunch of college age kids a bunch of magic, and they were all impressed. And I was like, okay, yes, win. I went to a wedding, and as an excuse to carry around a deck of cards and doing magic, I was just invited as a guest. They didn't even ask me to do any magic. I proceeded to perform for literally everybody. I had everybody sign a card as though they were signing another guest book, and then I gave the deck to the couple at the end of the night. And so they have this extra tidbit of oh my god, we have a deck of cards signed by as many people that saw magic from one of our magician friends. Awesome. All right, let's see. Oh man, Mike has requested Apex Aces. All right. We're going to defer my random choice. You know what? I'm actually just going to remove my random choice. And I've done it, I think, a lot on stream compared to like some of the other tricks. I think there's a couple of tricks that I have in my trick list that haven't even been requested. Just going to quickly do a double check. Oh yeah, there's still a couple. Let's see, requesting it because I don't know it and I want to see what it looks like. Oh yeah, that's a perfectly good reason to request something. Would recommend. So on my YouTube, when I did this as part of my 100 tricks in 100 days, I don't know if anybody's into anime in the chat, but I themed my Apex Aces as four. So we're going to take out the four aces, but I themed this as Cowboy Bebop. So these were the members of the Bebop, and then the three selections were actually outlaws that they were trying to grab. So, and for anybody who's not aware of what Cowboy Bebop is, that is an anime in which cowboys are bounty hunters, and the Bebop is the name of the ship that they fly around in space in the show. So that is what that is. All right, cool. So let's see, I'm set up. Let's go ahead and switch over to the view. Blah. All right, first things first, we have a deck. We're going to need 3 selections. I would have expected Apex Legends. Yeah, I'm not so much into competitive games nowadays. I'm a little bit older than I used to be. Like when I was into video games that were kind of competitive, it was around like StarCraft Brood War days. So I don't know if that dates me, but by the time things like LOL and Dota came out, I was basically not playing competitive video games anymore. My reflexes were super slow by then, so now that when I play video games, I prefer to play. A lot of what I like now are like roguelikes and deck builders. So I super enjoy card games. I mean, not just like regular playing cards, but like Magic the Gathering. I played a ton of those, and so let's see. Taladar says same StarCraft and the mod version of Counter-Strike. Oh yeah, nice, good stuff. Yeah, those were back in the day, so I don't know if that dates me at all, but I think I'm probably like on the slightly older end of a bunch of people on Twitch. All right. Anyway, so we are performing Apex Aces, and we're going to need 3 selections. If anybody cares, I'm just going to go ahead and make the selections. Because it doesn't really matter what they are. I'm going to reveal them to everybody. If you want to keep track of them, you can type them in the chat. It's not a big deal. That's not the magical part, I hope. So, but conceptually, what we would have is 3 different spectators. They could each select a different card. And let's just go ahead and pull these out. And actually, if anybody in chat wants to object to any of these cards, I will go ahead and redraw. So this will be card A, B, and C. Anybody object to any one of those, I will switch it out for a different one. And we'll give it like, I don't know, 30 seconds if nobody wants to switch anything out, or if somebody just says, yes, go with it. Like, do it, just do it, Nike. I don't know, I've not seen a Nike emote yet, so that would be A, funny if anybody here had it, and then B, I guess I'd have to listen. Okay. Do it! Ah, yes, do it. Okay, cool. So we have these 3 cards. These will be our selections. So if anybody wants to type them in chat, just so we remember. Otherwise, it won't be as impressive. We have the 6 of clubs. So 6C is how we would shorthand that. 3 of hearts, 3H. And 8 of hearts, 8H. Alright, so what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and place these into 3 different parts in the deck. Cool, thank you kindly, Mike. So if we take a look, they're all in 3 different parts of the deck, and I'm just going to go ahead and push them in. Okay. So what's going to happen here is that this will become a boss trick next time. I don't know if anybody knows. I do this thing called boss tricking. So if I don't perform a trick that is satisfactory, then next time it's going to become a boss trick. So, but anyway, we're going to go ahead and shuffle the packet, cut it a little bit, and so on. Okay, and now the cards are lost in the deck. We are going to go ahead and use the aces to try and pick them out. Now these aces are bounty hunters, and those 3 cards, the 6 of clubs, 3 of hearts, and 8 of hearts, are the bounties. So look what's going to happen. We're going to go ahead and take the ace of diamonds and snap our fingers. And believe it or not, that's actually going to make the ace of diamonds search through the deck. So now it's actually gone. Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and take the ace of clubs. We're going to do a similar thing. And now it's actually searching through the deck as well. And now let's go ahead and have the ace of hearts do a similar thing. And believe it or not, that's actually going to make the cards disappear as well. And now finally, the ace of spades is our last ace that we're going to need to make disappear. And what we will do is, if I show you, the ace has disappeared. Some people think that I'm hiding it on the top. I'm not hiding it on the top. Some people think that I'm now hiding it on the bottom. Not hiding it on the bottom. But now the aces are searching for our 3 outlaws. And now if I go ahead and I spread, they should have done their job. So now if we take a look, so now there's a few, sorry, not a few, there's 4 face-up aces, and there's 3 cards in between them. And those cards, would you believe, are the 3 outlaws? Because take a look. 6 of clubs, 3 of hearts, 8 of hearts. And those are our outlaws that our aces have found. And that is my handling and performance of Apex Aces. All right, so let's see. If I was reflecting, I could see myself on the camera. I'm like, no. So I saw one thing, and I'm like, okay, let me just try and recover here. Recovered. I think the rest of the trick went fine. So just hiding one little tiny thing. But yeah, so I'll make that a boss trick for next time, and hopefully I'll do better. But let's see. Gibson Lens, welcome in. Hello, how's it going? Let's see. I totally forgot to shout out Taladar earlier, so let's go ahead and shout out Taladar now first. Taladar plays retro games, and then let's shout out Gibson Lens. So Gibson Lens is a piano player, and he writes a lot of his own originals. He plays VGM. He plays, whatever we find on his song list that hasn't been played for more than 2 months. Inside joke, but yeah. So I bothered Gibson Lens, but I keep his song list up to date. So. All right. Once again, the magic queue is empty, so if anybody would like to request anything, feel free. Yeah, no problem. My pleasure. Yeah, Gibson Lens actually has been a supporter of my stream since like the first stream. So my first stream was actually a tech test where I didn't tell anybody that I was streaming except for like 3 discords, and he happened to see it and he came in. so so thank you very much for being there for me, Gibson. I did do a special trick for him because he knows that I play Magic the Gathering, so he was like, do a trick with Magic cards. So I was like, okay. I think when I become an affiliate, one of the first redeems I'm going to have is like, do it with Magic cards. So doing Magic with Magic cards. I think that'll be fun. Let's see. I did actually have something in the queue that I removed, but it was a random selection, but I'd already set up for it, so I can just go ahead and put it in there. And we're just going to go ahead and do that for sure. I'm an idiot. I used the wrong command. There we go. Okay. Everything works. Everything works. I didn't break anything. I'm just dumb. Okay. So yeah, for some reason, this trick has been requested by random so many times, but I guess that keeps me decently performing at it. So. Yep, but nobody has hit the boss tricks for this time yet. So there's still 2 lingering boss tricks. So if anybody remembers any mistakes or anything that I said on stream last time, I'll still potentially want to do those. Okay, first things first. We have to switch the magic view. There you go. All right. Okay, so we have Restless Lady. This is an interesting story because it's always about a lady, and I've done this trick with like a guy, and so it could really be about anybody, but the trick itself is called Restless Lady because that's what it was published as. But we have a 6, 7, 8, and 9 of diamonds, and of course we have, in this case, a Queen of Clubs to represent our Restless Lady. The thing about the Restless Lady is that every time the Restless Lady knows that there's events going on, a party, a gathering, she wants to be where the action's at. So even if we take her out of the packet where all the cool people are hanging, right? She's gonna want to get in on the action, and so all it takes, if we just give her an avenue to get here, like touching the packet, she's gonna find a way to get there. See, there she is. Isn't that so weird? Okay. So even if we, just place her away, snap our fingers, she's going to find her way up to the top. But look, if we try and take her out again, all it's going to take is just an avenue for her to try and find a way to get back to the party. So if we take a look, I gotta angle it so that it's A in frame and B, the glare isn't too crazy. Okay, so now if I go ahead and just give her an avenue for getting to the party, right, you're gonna see something strange happen. She finds a way to get to the party. I know, isn't that weird? So, but now if we have these cards, all it takes is just touching this card and she's going to come back to the party, because look, there she is. And now we just have a lonely red pip card. But if we place it on top, and the queen's going to find a way to jump up to the top. There she is. Now this queen, whom is the restless lady, she always wants to be the center of attention, and so like she can make herself seen everywhere. So it doesn't matter when you go to the party. You can go early, you can go late. You're gonna see her everywhere at the party. Isn't that weird? So weird, right? But at the end of the party, all of the guests go ahead and tell her, hey, we really want to like you, and so if you can just conform and just be nice, it'll be way easier to hang out with us. And so, and you don't have to have this strange stigma of being the restless lady. And so she eventually does comply and starts to see the way that they see, because she's no longer the queen of clubs. She is now the queen of diamonds to match all of her friends. And that is my handling and performance of Restless Lady. Alright, thanks for the claps, Gibson Lens. Thank you kindly. Mike 2600, ooh, really good kicker ending. Reminds me of Larry Jennings' homing card. I like that one. Okay, cool, awesome. You hadn't seen that one, Mike? Yeah, so Restless Lady. I think for my 100 tricks project, I called it the Restless Jack, because I think I used a jack. What's everybody's beverage of choice tonight? So I am on the US East Coast, so it is Friday night. So anybody drinking anything interesting? I am having black tea. What are you guys drinking? It's okay, you can just be drinking water. It's not a big deal. I'm just curious. So I used to be a big fan of beer. I still would be a fan of beer, but in the past 2 years, I've recently had an attack of gout, which, if anybody is not aware, gout is basically this thing that causes your joints to really hurt. It's basically an arthritis, but it's triggered by uric acid, which, depending on what you ingest and eat, it basically gets generated anyway. But people with gout, when the uric acid gets near certain big joints, in this case joints of the big toe, it inflames it and makes it hurt a lot, and then that's kind of what makes it debilitating. Let's see. Taladar says he was out in the heat earlier, so just water here. And then Gibson Len says, I've cut back on Diet Coke, but I'm drinking it tonight. Yeah, I hear that Diet Coke is a very popular drink. I never knew what people thought about Diet Coke until I tasted it, because I was like, oh, well, I've never needed a diet soda. I've just always had the regular version of the soda. Diet Coke actually has a much different taste than the regular version of Coke or really anything else. So I kind of get it. Um, and, I'm not into soda as much nowadays, but yeah, for many years I would not actually drink any soda unless there was alcohol in it, in which case I would make the exception. But now with the gout, it's kind of tough to have alcoholic beverages. And if anybody didn't know, I'm actually an avid wine drinker. Well, I was an avid wine drinker up until my wife and I had a baby last year. So, when she became pregnant, it was really hard for me to find time to just have wine without her because it would make her jealous. So, but yeah, we've tasted a lot of wines. All right, let's see. Let's put another random one. Play it straight, triumph. Oh. Do I do the awesome version of this? Okay. All right. I will need a volunteer. Anybody want to volunteer? Feel free to drop something in the chat if you would like to volunteer. It's basically just going to be a card selection. Okay. First things first, let me tell you what this deck is all about. Because we're not using a traditional deck of cards for this one. We're going to be using this deck that has letters. So if we take a look, the jokers are yes and no. So we have a bunch of letters, and the entire deck, 52 cards. It has enough to basically have 2 per letter, but there's like 3 of some, like the letter E, and then there's only 1 of others, like Z. All right, Taladar volunteers as tribute. Okay, excellent. So, okay, first things first. I'm just going to go ahead and let's stop somewhere. Let's say here, and I'm just going to spread these cards out. Let's see here. Okay, we've got 13 cards here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Why don't you go ahead and choose a card between 1 and 13? So 1 over here, 13 will be this one. And that will be the selection. $13. All right, Taladar has selected 13. That will be this card. Okay, so now what we're going to need to do is, I will leave this on camera the entire time, and we just need to cut the rest of the deck into 4 piles. They don't have to be perfectly equal, but roughly equal will be awesome. So that's about roughly equal. And so earlier, if you guys were watching, we had seen the triumph squared. So this is going to be a similar kind of trick, because if you remember, the big thing about triumphs is that we're going to turn over some cards, and we're going to shuffle face up into face down cards. I know, it hurts me every time, but remember, I'm a magician, so you get used to it. The pain never goes away. You just get used to it. So what we're going to do is shuffle face up into face down cards, like so. You can see that they really are getting shuffled in together. And then we're just going to do it again. And then we're going to do it one final time to get all of the cards in there. So now we've got some cards that are face up, face down, and so on. So, oh crap, we forgot. There's a card out here. That's your selection. I was going to find your selection. Hey, look, I found your selection. All right, trick's done. Okay, I'll be here all week. Okay. No. Okay, hold on. I think we've got something interesting that we can do here. What we can do instead is, all right, I'm going to have to use my shadow to save me once again, because I've trained the shadow to get me out of these situations. All right, once again, using my hand, casting the shadow, doing all the dirty work in the deck. And believe it or not, the shadow is actually going to do something to indicate to us, hey, the trick is going to be okay. And I'm not sure if this is going to show up very well, but let me just go ahead and spread these cards here. Okay, we are going to need to pull some cards out. So what we have is an H, an A, P, another P, and then so that's a word, right? I'm pretty sure that's an English word. Happy Sa. Yeah, happy Sa to you too. Let's see. Happy Sat. Okay. Happy Saturn. Happy Saturd. Happy Saturd. All right. Can we guess what this letter is? I'm thinking you can probably guess. As much as I would love this to say happy turd. All right. Happy Saturdan. All right, here we go. It's the letter Y. My apologies, Gibson Lens, but your guess was incorrect. So instead of happy Saturdan, it says happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, guys. Here we go. And that is my handling and performance of Play It Straight Triumph with DMC Alphas, which is the deck of cards that I'm using right now. Thanks for the claps, Gibson Lens. Thank you kindly. Greatly appreciated. DMCA is usually bad for streamers. Yes, that is true. I totally agree. Yeah, somebody was like, oh, hey, maybe you should have some music while we're doing boss tricks. And I'm like, that would be awesome. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to have music quite yet because I don't know what's safe and what's not. But at the moment, my current goal is let's try and get affiliate first. And then once I become affiliate, I will maybe try and do some more fun glitzy things. But right now I'm playing it super safe. I don't want any algorithmic things to kick me out. Oh yes, if anybody has, I don't know if you can read this. In store and to your door, and it says Blockbuster. So this is an old dead Blockbuster shirt. For anybody who doesn't know, I used to work at Blockbuster. If you actually go to my YouTube channel and go back in time, you'll see just me talking to a camera, way worse quality camera because it was like over a decade ago. And I am reviewing movies that I watched because I got free movie rentals, which was a big deal then. Netflix didn't exist yet. Basically, once Netflix came in, then nobody cared to hear reviews anymore because they would just go see the movie. Let's see. Mike2600 says, you can play whatever music you want on your stream, but your videos on demand will get muted at certain points. Oh, okay. Well, that's handy. That's cool. I'm not sure if my taste in music would necessarily foster and make everybody else want to stay, because I think my typical music choices are K-pop, and I like video game music. I like piano music. I like jazz, but I think primarily I would probably have like K-pop and Eurobeat. Which, by the way, if anybody doesn't know what Eurobeat is, it's like Eurobeat house dance music and Eurobeat is specifically known to be made in Italy for the Japanese, but it's sung in English. Yeah, and if anybody's familiar with the Initial D anime, that's kind of where you would probably hear a lot of Eurobeat. Oh, hey, K-pop love. Yes, that's right. And if anybody is familiar with K-pop culture, it's basically like a heart when you hold this up. So, hey, dude, man, welcome in. How's it going? If anybody would like, the queue is empty, so feel free to request something. And if you don't know what to request, but you want to request something, feel free to type in !random. But yeah, for many years, my music tastes were basically just K-pop, and actually just starting this year, I started hanging out in music Twitch streams, and I've been reintroduced to like old music that I used to really love, when I was in grade school, and so. Dude Man says, your beat slaps sometimes. I like Japanese hardcore. Needs a better name. You're not wrong. All right, with that, I'm just gonna request one for a random magician's choice. All right. FYI, anybody who's a magician's choice, tongue-in-cheek inside joke there as well. So, okay. Well, we got some people in chat right now. I'm feeling pretty good, and it is my choice. And there's 2 boss tricks, as my magician's choice is reminding me. So you know what? Let's do a boss trick. So I'm actually going to pick one of the boss tricks to do. I mean, I've already picked it. I'm actually just setting up for it right now. Chiopal. Dude man, explanation? Alright, so the trick we are going to be doing is reset. And honestly, I didn't really mess it up last time. There's just one little tiny thing, and honestly, if you're not a magician and you just saw the trick, it probably went perfectly fine. But I was not satisfied with it because of one tiny little thing. So we're doing it again. So for anybody who's in chat, first of all, a boss trick is a trick that I've not done to my full satisfaction on a past stream, but we're going to do it. And now, since we're encountering one, boss! Let's see. Dude man, chat people. Oh, Chiopal. Okay, I get it now. Sorry. Sometimes I'm dense. Dude man, weird that we don't say Piopal. Oh yeah. I sometimes say Piopal, and it bothers the hell out of my wife. Shh, don't tell her. She's asleep right now. Also, I don't think she'll watch like a 2-hour magic stream, so I'm probably safe in that respect. Alright, you digress. Alright, we can all digress. Alright, let's see here. Just gotta make sure this is the way that I want it. Okay, cool. And now we can switch over to Magic View. Alright, so last time I tried to do reset, and it was almost perfect. There's one tiny little thing, but we're also going to do it once again. If you weren't here for it last time, it was themed as video game save states. So we're going to pull these back out because, I haven't really moved these. There's really no need to carry around to save state and load state. But okay, so what we have here are the aces and the jacks. And what we are going to do is we are going to introduce to you all of the jacks. What we have here is the Jack of Spades. There we go, that's better. Jack of Diamonds. Jack of Clubs. And Jack of Hearts. So we'll place all the jacks over here. We'll place all the aces over here. And if we take a look, so we've got all 4 jacks over here, and we've got all 4 aces over here. Okay. And the thing about this is that if you're familiar with video game emulators, they have this feature called save state, where maybe in old NES games you couldn't save literally anywhere, but you can now. So let's remember this state. I'm going to go ahead and hit the save state button. Boom! We've saved the state. So the jacks are over here, the aces are over here. But in order to change the state, what we're going to do is let's go ahead and play the game a little bit, right? So the thing is, if we go ahead and do some funny magic business, sometimes magic doesn't actually interact, sometimes like a spell fails, and like nothing is actually going to happen, right? But if I go ahead and actually physically touch this card to that pile, maybe we've actually caused a state change, because take a look, that's now a jack. So weird, right? So look, as we continue to play the game, we're actually going to change more of the state. So look, we've got a couple of aces here, but now this is going to be a little bit tougher because both aces are face up. And so look, if I just go ahead and do the little magically thing, nothing happens. And actually sometimes it's stubborn. Sometimes you don't push over a pixel large, long enough or big enough or something, or you don't hit the trigger. But look, oh, actually we've actually just caused something to change. And so here's the jack. So we've caused 2 jacks to be over here. And so now, believe it or not, as you progress through the game, you might find that you can change more things in the world, and you don't have to just do one thing at a time. So look, if I go ahead and just touch these 2 aces to the jacks, all of these aces are actually going to change to jacks. So if actually all of the aces are jacks, that would mean that all of the jacks are now aces. Oh yeah, great, okay, excellent. But sometimes you're now in a horrible state. So like, look, your character has like no energy or no life. You're right next to a boss and you're always going to die. And the easiest thing to do is just to start over. So we're just going to go ahead and hit the load state button. Load state. And believe it or not, these are actually now going to be all the aces again. So all the aces are there. And of course, everything over here is all of the jacks once again. And that is my handling and performance of Reset, themed as video game emulator save states. And we can also say, I beat the boss that time. Beat the boss. All right. Thanks for the claps, dude man. Thanks for the claps, Gibson Lens. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I know a bunch of people in chat are into video games, so hopefully that was a cool theming of what would otherwise be a pretty generic, generically themed magic trick. So. All right, cool. That's one boss trick down. There's one more boss trick from last time out there. I am just going to update the Magician's Choice thing to indicate that there's only one left for now. Edit 1. Save. All right, did that work? Okay, I think it worked. Let's see here. Yes, the queue is empty, so if anybody would like to request something, feel free. Otherwise, I'm just going to stall for a few minutes, and then I might just add another one. FYI, there's a couple of tricks that I'm personally working on that are not on the list. If anybody wants to see those, let me know in chat. I can perhaps attempt to do one of those as well. All right. Let's see, how long have I been streaming? Cool. Man, an hour has gone by. I guess when I'm doing a bunch of tricks, time flies. I guess that's not surprising because sometimes I'm just like sitting in front of my computer, I'm learning a new trick. I'll do it like what I think to be like 10 times, and then like an hour and a half is like gone, and I'm like, all I did was practice this trick a lot. So, all right. Looks like we have a request from Dude Man. Thanks for the request. I don't know if you have seen me perform aria on a previous stream. I think I have, but let's see what I can do. Sometimes, like when I do tricks and I'm doing them, like I'm comfortable doing them, I can try and come up with like a more fun theme. I'm not sure if there's much I can do with this one though, but I guess we'll see. All right. Almost out of tea, guys. That means I'm going to switch to water after this. All right, magic, here we go. This is called Aria, and it uses 4 aces and I guess a bunch of cards from the deck. But let's go ahead and place these cards out. So first things first, we have all 4 aces. We're going to turn them all face down. And what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and place 3 cards on top of each ace. So let's go ahead and do that now. And we are going to go ahead and square those up. What we are going to do is get each of these aces lost by stuffing it into the packet of 3 what we call indifferent cards in Magic. So they're basically cards that we don't care about. And then we're going to shove them into different places in the deck. So that one went to the middle. This one will go closer to the bottom. This one will go closer to, like, I don't know, the top-ish, I guess. Near the top, not quite at the top. And then what we're going to do with this last one is we're not actually going to do anything to shove it in the middle of the deck, because what we can do is just hold these cards. And if I just do a 1, 2, 3, that's actually going to make all of those cards transform into the 4 aces. And some people will suspect that there's aces in the deck, but we have actually extracted all of them to this packet. And that is my handling and performance of Aria. I think it's pronounced Aria. I don't know. The one thing about learning a lot of the tricks the way that I learn tricks is I basically search for YouTube video performances, and then I see how people do them. I reverse engineer it, and then if I need to do some changes to basically suit my performance style, maybe it might be changing a slight, maybe it might be changing up the patter, which is like the words that I say during the performance. Then I'll do that. But nobody ever says the name of this trick, or nobody ever says the name of most tricks. Like, all right. Anyway, Dude Man, thanks for the claps, and my apologies for the oh no. But yeah, don't lose any sleep. As I do remind people, this is sleight of hand magic. I'm not like doing any true sorcery, or I didn't sign any deals with the real devil or anything. So, sleight of hand magic. But thanks for the request, Dude Man. Okay, let's see. Well, if nobody wants to request something, I do want to perform a new one. I don't even know if I've done all of the research to attribute everything properly, and so I guess in lieu of that, we're just going to go ahead and put it in as a magician's choice. but this one's actually not on the list because I don't know what to name it. As I was saying, when I learn a lot of tricks, I'll just find YouTube videos, I reverse engineer it, because that is technically the cheapest way to acquire new magic, and without actually having to pay for it or something. So first of all, let me grab a few cards here. Do need them to set up. Okay, let's do this. And then okay, all right. So let's go ahead and jump in. So this is a new thing. I have not even filmed a YouTube video for this, and I intend to. So this is literally fresh off of I learned this about, I don't know, 3 days ago, 3 or 4 days ago, earlier this week. Let's see. So first pile, we've got 4 cards here. And these cards are all black spot cards. And so there's, 4 black spot cards. They're not really, you don't have to remember them, but anyway. And then in this pile, we have 4 red spot cards. So if I go ahead and I just count through, 4 red spot cards. But we're going to do something interesting. Let me go ahead and take one of the red spot cards out and replace it with a black spot card. So here, we're just going to go ahead and scoop it up like this, place it in the packet. If I snap my fingers, you would think that something magical happened, because it did. So you would expect to see a black spot card in here, but you're not going to see any black spot cards. They're all red spot cards still. I'm going to go ahead and take another one out and replace that once again with another black spot card. I'm going to snap my fingers though, and believe it or not, you won't see any black spot cards. They'll all still be red spot cards. And now finally, I can even do 2 at a time. Let me just place down 2. And we're going to scoop these last 2 on together, like so. And believe it or not, after I snap my fingers, you think you're going to see any black spot cards? No, you're just going to see red spot cards. But the important question is, would you now guess that all of the black spot cards are here? So if you guess that the black spot cards are here, you might be half correct, because I'm just going to confess right now, 2 of these are black spot cards, but they're not the black spot cards that you thought were here probably. Because let me just show you that here's 2 red spot cards and here's 2 black spot cards, and they're all aces. So if you did not realize that you saw aces, you might have missed something. And so yeah, this one, I don't know how to attribute it. There's another performance that I kind of basically borrowed literally this whole thing, but I just streamlined it for my own performance and how I like to handle cards. But at the moment, I think we're going to call it red and black piles. I don't know. So that is that. And I'm actually going to set this as performed because I actually performed it. Boom. All right, we have another request from Dude Man. All right, awesome. And it is hallucination. Man, it's not going to work, the light. Hold on, let me just switch back to this for a second. Yeah, hallucination. Okay, good. I'm not hallucinating. I can read. Let's see. Dude Man. That was awesome. All right. Thanks, Dude Man. Hopefully you liked it. I enjoyed it. So nowadays it's tough when I am searching for new material or new tricks to perform. I kind of want them to be, not too complicated. Like tricks that take me more than 5 minutes to perform are like, it's not that I can't handle it, but it is kind of like a mental drain. So I'd rather limit those. Ones that are like quicker are like more economical with my time, but also if I end up doing them in real life, It's easier to justify performing to like a random stranger. Oh, hey, do you have like a minute? I can show you a trick in a minute. Versus 5 minutes. It's like maybe that's not what you signed up for, right? So, okay. What we have here is hallucination. Okay, so we have the four kings. We have the king of spades, the king of diamonds, the king of clubs, and the king of hearts. And we're just going to go ahead and grab the kings, and we're going to be doing something interesting with them. So look, if I go ahead and I show you that we've got two kings here, and so we have two kings face up and two kings face down. Okay, but if I just square them up and turn them over, intuitively what you would say is that there's two kings face up and two kings face down, right? But if I go ahead and I snap my fingers, believe it or not, all of the cards are now facing in the same direction. Isn't that weird? Super weird, right? A lot of magicians will say, don't do the same trick twice. Well, we're going to break that a little bit because I'm going to go ahead and show you two kings face up, two kings face down. We're going to go ahead and push them together and turn the whole thing back over. And now we're going to do that weird snap and flick. And believe it or not, once again, all the cards are face down. Now, in some of my other streams, or if you've seen the tricks before, there's this other trick called twisting the aces, which normally you use 4 aces, but we got 4 kings here. But look, if I go ahead and I hold this packet, and I give it a magical twist that I would have given, you know, in that other trick, twisting the aces, you might notice something a little weird, because one of these cards is going to turn face up, and you'll notice that it's actually not a king. You're going to notice that it's an ace. And then actually, if I hold the pack and give it another twist, believe it or not, if I count through the cards again, one of the cards turns face up, and it's actually not a king, it's actually an ace. And you know, if I just twist it 2 more times, that's going to be enough for all of these cards to become the 4 aces. And yeah, at this point, we can go ahead and say, you didn't see any kings at all. You just saw the 4 aces the entire time. Isn't that weird? And that was hallucination. I'm bad at enunciating. Hallucination! Alright. So, fun story about this trick. So, when I first started learning sleight of hand magic, or really just like card tricks, back in 2019, so not that long ago, I'm pretty proud that I've been able to pick up a lot like in such a little time. So 3 years ago, I had seen this trick on YouTube, and I watched the tutorial, and I'm like, I don't have all the skills to do this one yet. And so I kind of forgot about it. And then jumped to, I think, late 2020. So it was almost like a year and a half later. I finally see it again, and I'm like, oh my god, this was that pretty cool trick that I saw. And I'm like, do I have the skills for this now? I probably have all the skills for this now. And then I rewatched the tutorial, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is easy. And then I was able to just do all the trick. And I was like, oh man, I'm glad I found this again, because I think it's a pretty nice like short trick that, you know, it has a little bit of wiggle room for like putting in a story. I could probably expand a little bit on it, but I like it as it is, because it's like, 4 kings, no kings, all aces. What? Like, so you get that 1-2 punch. Thanks for the claps, dude, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for the request. Let's see, how are we doing? Okay, there are literally 2 tricks that have not been requested. Since this is my 6th stream, next time is my 7th stream. I would like I'm just gonna do one of these, and unless somebody else requests the other one. But trick request. So we're gonna be doing the invisible palm, because I have not performed this yet, and it's actually one of the earliest tricks that I learned how to do. And it's also super visual, and I enjoy it a lot. And doing it at like a wedding reception blows minds. It's like crazy. But anyway, let's go ahead and perform this one. Also, I want to practice it, even though I did practice it a bunch like a few weeks ago. But part of me doing these streams is that I get to practice some tricks that maybe I don't normally get to practice or do or whatever. So all right, let's switch over. So yeah, I have not done this trick on a stream yet. So this is the first time I'm requesting it for myself. And whoever's in the chat, you guys get to enjoy this. So Dude Man, you're in a very hopefully I don't mess this up, because I don't want to mess this up. So first things first, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Now I guess there is something that I do have to reveal a little bit about magic. Sometimes magicians will hide cards, and they'll hide cards in the palm of their hand. If you've heard of the concept of palming, you may have heard of this before. And so if I go ahead and I palm a card like this, at certain angles, you'll clearly be able to tell, because if I show you, it's palmed here, right? But this is called the invisible palm. And so if I actually palm this invisibly, you won't be able to see it, but it's actually still there in my hand. And you won't actually get to see it until I place it back down on the table, like so. Isn't that weird? Now, once again, magicians don't like to repeat their tricks. And once again, if I palm a card overtly, you might be able to see the card in my hand. But the name of the trick is the invisible palm. And so if I go ahead and I palm it invisibly, like so, once again, you won't be able to see it until I place it down on the table. And it's there, see? Now, if I show you this last card, 4 of spades. Let's leave it there for a second. And we have a bunch of other cards. So 4 of spades. I'm going to go ahead and palm that off of the bottom of the deck here. So if I go ahead and I grab the 4 of spades, and look, it's still there right now, but if I just line it up with the deck, and all I have to do is just invisibly palm it. Do you see it? Do you feel the magic? So look, you can't see it, but just trust me, it's still there. And you won't be able to see it until I place it down on the table, like that. And of course, if you are curious, I can show you these cards. And remember, this was indeed the 4 of spades. So there we go. And that is my handling performance of the invisible palm. Alrighty. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. That was the invisible palm. Yeah, that was one of my favorite tricks. Like the first year I started, and I was like, I need to know how that works, and I didn't have all the skills for it. And then I basically acquired all the skills for this trick, and then I was like, okay, I can do this. This is fine. I could have been very horrible at it initially, and just like, this is fine, all the flames around me and everything. Dude Man, thanks for the claps. Totally appreciated. All right. Let's see. I have man, we've been trucking through tricks tonight, I think. Let's see here. I've been doing a lot of tricks. Let's take a quick break. I'm going to go ahead and officially request a Rubik's Cube solve, which is, by the way, not magic, but it's basically going to give me a magic break. So, all right, so we have a cube. It's a legit cube. It's not like Rubik's brand, but it's effectively. So, all right. So now I'm gonna scramble it. But anyway, if anybody who's a cuber or has done cube solving, you're probably better at it than I am. I only know the beginner's method, which is basically just one algorithmic way of solving it. But you know, you can get pretty fast at doing it if you do it just quickly, like physically. It goes pretty quick. Anyway, hopefully this is sufficiently scrambled. I probably spun that too fast, but yeah, I find that actual Rubik's cubes are they're so like if you take a look at how this is constructed, right? The edges have curves where we would rotate, versus like not a legit cube unless it's signed by Erno Rubik. Yes, of course, definitely. Well, this isn't even like you know, it's probably not even made by any official company. As I don't even know. This might be made in China, I'm guessing. So, but like the actual Rubik's cube has like straight corners here, and it actually makes it tougher, I think, to spin faster. And so like a lot of the cheaper cubes now will have this slight improvement in which these are rounded, which makes turning these you know, quite easier. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to solve it now. So I'm not going to like rush, but you know, it shouldn't take me too long, I'm guessing. I can solve it. It's like a party trick that if anybody who knows how to do one, it's immediately better than anybody who doesn't know, and everybody who doesn't know how to do one is like, "Oh wow, that's so cool!" And like, I don't know, it seems way more impressive than I think now that I actually go through it. I'm not very good, and it's not that impressive because I know how to solve one. So people who solve it like super fast, super impressive. Because anybody who's not aware, to get diminishing returns to do it much faster, you've got to learn like exponentially more algorithms just to get much faster times. Anyway, so first layer is basically getting all of one color, but not just that, it's all of the edge colors as well to match. And they should ideally match the center. I know that it's okay because if I just line it up, it'll match. But so now the second layer, you're trying to get all of these around this to match as well with their centers. So I'm going to do that now. So I have this thing where I have a shortcut basically for the first three edge pieces on the second layer, which is different like than the memorized algorithm. I have to do the last one for the fourth one because I do weird displacement thing. So now I have almost. So now I cheated and I got three of the second layer edge pieces in. So now I just have to do this one. So this is the one that I can't cheat. So I do have to know the algorithm to do that one. Okay. So now no wait. Oh yeah, now that is correct. So now I look at the bottom and see what pattern it is. Depending on what it is, will determine what algorithm I use. So we're going to do this, that, this, that, this. And now if I get to the fish shape, so you can't see that it's yellow, but if it's the fish shape, then I might have to do this up to 3 times. Whoops. So that's 1. Fish shape again, 2. Okay, so I was lucky I only had to do it 2 times. And now I just have to fix the... so I have to swap these 2 corners, because these 2 corners are in the right place. And now I just have to rotate these edge pieces on this top layer, and we're just going to go ahead and do one iteration, so that will get one of them in the right place, this one, and then the other three is just either clockwise or counterclockwise. Same algorithm. Alright, done. Probably could have done it a little faster if I didn't talk about it, but there we go. Let's see. Dude man, you should learn intuitive first 2 layers. That alone improved my times. Yeah, does that mean like I just intuit, like just try and do them via logic and not like, so I mean I can intuit the first layer no problem, and then the second one is pseudo intuit, so I just have that one edge. Anyway, totally did this. But so one of my other hobbies that I got into a few years back was lockpicking. I was actually thinking about bringing that on stream. I was not sure about the legality of it. Maybe if I didn't teach it, even though there's a ton of YouTube videos about people teaching lockpicking. But maybe I can have, maybe if I instead of having it just be something in the trick list, I could make it a redeem, be like pick a lock. So the problem is I don't necessarily want it to be like too disappointing, because I grab lock and some of my locks are like basic easy locks to pick, so I pick it in like 2 seconds. But there are some locks that I have that are like practice locks that'll take me like a couple minutes. I'm not that good, but it's called intuitive because they don't use an algorithm, but they're still standard algorithms. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I basically intuit the first, most of the first 2 layers. I only do the algorithm for the second layer for the 4th edge. But that's cool. Awesome. Yeah, I respect anybody who's done any sort of speed cubing, so well done. Well done, everybody. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to, let's see. All right, I do want to do the other boss trick before the night's over. I will close with that one. But you solve the corner and edge at the same time. Oh, okay. No, I don't do that. I currently do the plus sign, and so I do the edges and then the corners. But yeah, I can see where that could save time. I'm kind of happy where I'm at with that. So I've dedicated a lot of my free time now into learning more magic tricks. So that's kind of where I'm at. And then also, aside from hobbies, I do have a full-time job, and I am also a relatively new parent. So parenting has actually become a new hobby. It's super cool to see babies become like not babies, because you see like they get interested in something and they pick it up and it's like, ooh, they're investigating. Like I gave my baby daughter 1-year-old for her 1-year-old birthday a few weeks ago a slinky, and she picks it up like every day. She's like, ooh, slinky. Like, all right, so the trick that I will want to put in the queue as a boss trick is called Dazed. Although, how close am I to... I do want to see if I can stand for 2 hours. But, let's see. Oh, 49. Okay, it's only 10 minutes. No problem. Yeah, so I messed this up. I messed up Dazed last time, but I didn't reveal any magic secrets, but I had to look at the stack of cards, which, makes it seem a lot less magical. So let's see. First of all, maybe I can put in a random trick first. Random trick. Okay, yeah, we can do that. And then okay, I'm just gonna say last call if anybody wants to request any magic tricks. Now's the time. I may displace it. I'm definitely gonna end with Dazed, and then depending on if we get like a slew of requests or something, I might displace my Dr. Daly's last trick, but otherwise, this will probably just be the plan if no one else wants anything. And I've done some of these tricks a few times now on stream, so if anybody who's been attending and is not a magician, but you're like, oh, I saw that trick before. Oh, I remember what it is. Hopefully, like, the name of the trick sticks with, like, the performance and what you see, because that's basically the intent. Ooh, Dude Man has requested Mad Monty. Alright, Dude Man, we're going to bump that up for you. I'm just setting up for it right now, but Mad Monty. This one is a short one, so should be okay. All right, Mad Monty, as requested by Dude Man. Okay, all right, look, we have two cards here. They're both the red queens. You can just remember hearts and diamonds. So if I go ahead and I take the queen of hearts and I place it face down, if I rotate the packet twice, 1 and 2, would you say that the hearts is on the top or the bottom? I think a lot of people might guess that the hearts is on top and the diamond is on the bottom. If that's what you guessed, you would be correct. That's not really the trick. We have to do this one more time. If I go ahead and rotate 1, 2, 3. Now, important question. Do you think that the diamond is on the top and the heart's on the bottom? Do you think I've swapped them? Okay. So here's the thing. Whatever you guessed, this is a Monty trick. If you're not familiar with Monty tricks, you do not want to do Monty tricks with hustlers or people on the street because you can never win. So Dude Man guesses diamonds would be on the top, bottom. You can have both of those guesses because if I show you these two cards now, there's actually no diamond. They're actually not even the red queens anymore. They are these other black spot cards, and that is why you don't play any any Monty game on the street. And this is Mad Monty, and I can hand these out for inspection. If you were physically here, you could look at these cards. So there you go, Mad Monty. Dude Man says, "Okay, what?" At least that's how I imagine WUT is pronounced. Yeah, I know. When I first saw that, I was like, "What? What did he do? What? How did that work? How did that happen?" So, yeah. All right. Let's see. While I'm here, I would like to try and find a raid target for after I'm done. And I've really been bad about this in the past because I wait until the last minute and then I just chose somebody on my list. And then sometimes there's not enough people, and then other times there's plenty of people, and so, you know. Let's see. There are a couple of people that I probably owe raids. So like Boy and the Bard has raided me before. Unfocused in IA has raided me before. So we could raid them. I could raid into, let's see, new Baroque. He's a relatively newer, like I haven't started listening to him until pretty recently. Yeah. All right, so those are what I'm thinking right now. But okay, well, we've got 2 more tricks to do, so let's do this next one. Dr. Daly's last trick. So for anybody who doesn't know, Dr. Jacob Daly was a magician, but he was also a legitimate medical doctor. And the reason why it's called Dr. Daly's last trick is because it was basically the last trick he was known to have been working on, and he had shared this with a couple of prominent magicians at the time. If you've heard of like Di Vernon, which I think anybody outside of magic circles probably would not have heard. No, Unfocus is how I found you. Oh, awesome. Well, thank you kindly for having discovered me through Unfocused and IA. So yeah, Nalani is awesome. I like to just randomly hang out in her streams because she does like so many different things. But like, I like music and I like some of the video games she's playing. So she's playing through Undertale for the first time, and I was like, oh man, I gotta watch some of this Undertale stuff. And like some of those emotional hits were like great. I think now she's playing Stray. All right, let's see. Dr. Daly's last trick. So, yes, rest in peace, Dr. Jacob Daly. But this trick was published as Dr. Daly's first trick by, Di Vernon and maybe Ed Marlowe, the people who were aware of what he was working on. So, it just uses the 4 aces. There's nothing crazy about this here. But 1, 2, 3, 4 aces. Now, if we were to do something like, if I were to grab the ace of spades, place it down here, right? And then if I was to place the ace of clubs here, would you guess that the ace of spades is on the bottom and the ace of clubs is on the top? And this is where this was a good follow-up to your request, Dude Man, because actually this is very similar to the last one in a way. So if you guess that the ace of spades is on the bottom and the ace of clubs is on the top, you'd be incorrect because the ace of spades is here on the top and the ace of clubs is here on the bottom. But you might have thought they were over there, but that's where the red aces are. And so that is Dr. Daly's last trick. Strange, right? Super weird. All right. Okay. Whew. A lot of tricks tonight. Got a lot of practice in, and actually, I don't think I did too bad. I think there's just like one trick that I became a boss trick. That's assuming I don't mess up on this boss trick, in which case, yeah, hubris is a thing, right? Thanks for the claps, Dude Man. Totally appreciate it. All right. Okay, and I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and, let's see. Do you have an ambitious routine? Oh yeah, I do. The ambitious card routine is in the trick list. Would you like to see that? You are aware of the ambitious card trick, first of all. Yep, there we go. Let's do that. Ambitious card routine. Let's see here. All right, so my ambitious is a little bit, or I mean, a little bit different, I guess, than the standard, but let's go ahead and do it. And Dude Man, if you are interested, you can select a card. You don't even have to randomly pick a card. You can just name it. And then if you don't want to actually pick a card, I think I have !R card for random card to randomly pick a card. So This can actually be done from a legitimately shuffled deck. That was super weird. I cut the 3 aces. That was amazing. It is completely unintended. But yeah, feel free to name a card, and we will get this party started. And if not, I will probably just randomly pick a card. See, if only you knew how much you have kicked me back into Magic and cards. Oh, I did not know, but I'd like to think that that is a compliment, because so I'm this kind of guy in which when I fall into a specific hobby, and if I love it, I go super deep. Like, I go crazy deep. Ace of hearts, or Ace of diamonds. Who's that? Is that Infozars? Oh yeah, that is Infozars. And yeah, so when I go super deep, I'm just like, oh man, this is like, I really love this. I really like this. And so, and the thing with like lock picking, when I was into that, it was tougher to like randomly bring lock picks and locks around, because I would bring around like this lock pick lab to teach my friends how to pick locks. But like, going through state borders and stuff, the legality of having lockpicks on you is a lot different in between states. So it's just a lot riskier. And nobody's going to question me if I have like a bunch of decks of playing cards, because, oh, what are you, a magician? I'll be like, yes. And, and I show them a trick and whatever. So obviously I have a ton that I can show. But anyway, so you've selected the Ace of Diamonds. And you, of course, are probably aware of how the ambitious card routine plays out. This could be signed, so you could sign it with anything. And just trust me that every time, just to tell everybody else in chat, anytime you see the Ace of Diamonds again in this trick, it is the same Ace of Diamonds. So, but anyway, so ambitious card routine. Mine is a little bit different, and maybe I'll explain a little bit after the trick's over. But let's go ahead and perform it now. So, dude man, you have selected the Ace of Diamonds out of all of these cards, and you're now intrinsically connected to it. So if I go ahead and I just grab it and I take it and place it into the middle of the deck, like so, and I push it in. If you have a magical gesture ready, like a snap or a clap or something like that, get it ready. You can post in chat, because look, I'm pushing the deck. Go ahead and do your magical gesture. Believe it or not, you're actually going to make it come back up from the middle of the deck to the top of the deck. And I'm just going to snap here. There we go. Believe it or not, Ace of Diamonds has hopped back up to the top. Now, you just got this power. We don't want you to waste it. So let's go ahead and do it again. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Ace of Diamonds, stick it into the middle of the deck. Once again, like so. I'm going to push it into the deck. Now, I do want to show you, prior to doing any sort of like magical gesture, not your card, right? But go ahead and do a magical gesture. Look at that. You just did a ka-chow. That's even more magical than like a snap or something. That infused a lot of extra emotional energy, because now if I show you, it's actually the Ace of Diamonds back on the top. Now, look, if I go ahead and tell you that, this was the part that I used to mess up in this trick all the time, because I was doing this, and this was the part that would mess me up a lot. But anyway, so sometimes magicians will switch out the cards. I'm going to leave it sticking out just for a second, just so to show you that there's no switch going on, right? So what I'm going to do is place the Ace of Diamonds into that packet. I'm going to take that whole packet and place it into this packet. And now we're just going to square that up. And if we take a look, you can go ahead and do a magical gesture again. If you want to send another ka-chow or a snap, clap, whatever. One, two, three. Believe it or not, your Ace of Diamonds has actually come back up to the top. And now, here's the big finale. I don't normally always do the big finale, but because you requested the ambitious card routine, I'm going to go ahead and put a bend in this card. I hate bending my cards, but you know what? For you, dude man, I want to bend this card. So look, we're bending the Ace of Diamonds, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull the ace of diamonds into the middle of the deck. You can kind of see it with that little bend right there, right? And what I'm going to do is hold it right here, and all we need is another snap ka-chow. So go ahead and send a snap ka-chow. At that snap ka-chow, and you'll see that bent card hop up to the top. And just in case you're indisposed, I'll go ahead and do it for you. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Nope, I didn't do it. There we go. Did you see that the bent card actually hopped up to the top? There's actually a slight bend in this card. And believe it or not, this is your can be signed ace of diamonds. And that is my handling and performance of the ambitious card routine. So yeah, the thing about the ambitious card, this is like one of those tricks that you first... Dude man gets the snap ka-chow! Awesome! Sorry if there's a little bit of lag. I don't know how laggy. My apologies. I can totally understand stream lag delay because my third stream was horrible technically because I was on Wi-Fi and my Wi-Fi upload was super bad. So now I run it like a 200 feet Ethernet cable to my setup here because I can't position it to get better upload speed through my router. So let's see. So the ambitious card routine for a lot of people who are uninitiated to Magic. This is like one of those routines that a lot of people will recommend that if you want to do something magical that punches hard, it's easy enough that someone new can do a variation of it, but as you get better, you can, what they'll say, jazz with cards, and so you can mix and mingle different, what I'll call modules, but really like they're phases. So like you do different things to make a card jump up from the middle to the top. So call me Houdini because you fooled me. And so yeah, there's been some discussion amongst me and my friendly Magic group, and we were like, how many phases should an ambitious card be? And this is not like a new question. This has been asked many times before. So some people will have like a 12-phase ambitious card routine, and the card keeps on jumping up to the top, up to the top. And if you just saw what I did, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like a 4-phase ambitious card routine, and it doesn't need to be long to pack a big punch, but you can kind of adapt it based on your audience to see how long they're going to be interested. If they're going to be engaged, if they're falling off, you can just end it early, kind of thing. So it's one of those things that becomes like a versatile thing that helps you like decide how you want to do your tricks. Okay, all right. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and close the queue. And that time has come. I'm going to be ending stream soon, so hopefully everybody who has tuned in, if you've been lurking, thank you for coming in. Thanks for watching. And if you didn't get the intro, hi, my name is Nam. I'm a sleight of hand magic enthusiast, mostly do card tricks. I've co-opted the StreamerSonglist to allow people to request tricks. Let's see. Dude man says, thanks for bending card. You didn't have to. No, that's fine. Like, honestly, you bend it back and it's not a big deal. So, other than that, I'm a relatively new streamer. This is my 6th stream ever, so hopefully I'm doing okay. Hopefully you guys are entertained, but importantly, I just want to thank each and everyone who is actually here and watching tricks for being here, because if I was just practicing these tricks, I'm just practicing a performance. The magic happens when somebody watches. So, all right. Thanks for the claps, dude, man. And yeah, no, like bending cards, you have to kind of get over that for a lot of card moves and things. So it's like, I actually do this thing, and this I probably told myself I would have never told people on stream because first of all I don't think it's really that interesting. But I have so with my boxes, what I do is I label them. So like this one has 54 cards, so I know it's one with jokers, and then I put the date in which I opened it, and there's a lot of space, so I can just. So this one I last opened on 6/15. So it's a semi-newish deck, but I find that now that I'm a magician and doing magic a lot, they wear out a lot faster than I think the typical person would imagine they wear out. So, but yeah. Anyway, telling you that mostly because maybe it's an interesting thing, but you know, like I'm probably gonna open a new deck of red cards in probably about it looks to be another month and a half, I'm guessing. So it's not a big deal. All right, and with that, we have one final trick that I place in the queue. It is the other boss trick, and let me go ahead and explain boss trick really quick. It's a trick in which I did not perform to my satisfaction in the previous streams, and I'm going to try and defeat it now. So look, we have found a boss. I almost spelled that booze. Which is not great for performance. It's like booze. No. It's great for alcohol though. Booze. All right. So this is a card trick called Dazed. And this will be our closer for tonight. So here we go. I have a stack of 6 cards. We've got a 6 of diamonds, and we've got a queen of clubs. And now these 4 cards, what you're going to see is that if I just count through them, they look normal in the back. But if I flip them over, they're actually going to look also like backs. So they're double backers, except for this one. This one's a little bit weird. It is blank. So let's just pull that out for a second. But so here we have a bunch of double backers. But look, if I go ahead and I hold this packet, and this packet has a very strange property, right? If I go ahead and I just hold this packet over this 6 of diamonds, I've just reflected the 6 of diamonds here. But actually, it's not just that, but actually all of the cards in the packet have become 6 of diamonds. Super strange, right? That's okay, we can do it again, because watch, look. If I go ahead and I just have this packet touch this queen of clubs, some magicians performing this trick will say at this point, oh hey, the queen of clubs has hopped up to the top. But we all know that you guys know that that's not the case. That queen of clubs has actually changed all of the cards in the packet to be queens of clubs. Super weird, right? And now finally we have this like blank card, and if I just go ahead and I place it here, and you can kind of still see, you know, the queen, but if I flip this over and it becomes blank, like it wipes it clean. If I just go ahead and I count through, all of the cards are now blank. If you're wondering if there's any sort of like weird faces going on, I can also show you that they're blank and 4 backs. And that is my handling and performance of the trick called Dazed. And with that, that's going to wrap up the stream. And I beat the boss trick! Alright. Oh wait, sorry. I didn't mean to type in boss trick. I meant to type in beat boss. And we're now going to go back to this view. Unfocused and IA is raiding with a party of 18. Thank you kindly, Unfocused and IA. Man, okay, I was actually going to raid out, and I was thinking about raiding out to you. So this is going to make it a little awkward. But I guess while I have a bunch of raiders, hi everybody, my name is Nam, and I'm a sleight of hand magic enthusiast. I like to do a lot of card tricks, and I guess I'm probably going to hang on for a little bit longer, just in case anybody wants to see some magic before I raid out. and I'm not gonna look to see who's there because they might raid out before I am ready. So let's first of all clear my queue. And next, shout out. We're gonna shout out Unfocused and IA. So FYI, anybody who is unaware, Unfocused and IA, variety streamer, music, video games, art, stream raiders. I've been enjoying hanging out while she's playing Undertale and Stray. So there's some new ones right there. And so let's see, Unfocused. So if you don't follow her, I have fun in her streams. So definitely would recommend. Is this your... All right, so hold on. Let me just catch up in chat. There's a bunch of messages all at once. Let's see. Welcome in, Devious Flame, Captain Geekbeard, Captain Stone Space Cadet, Spicy Fibbert Gibbet Guard, and welcome in Nalani, and welcome in Gibson Lens, and welcome in Dark Painted Ruse, and welcome in Spicy Fibbert. I Gibbet. Oh wait. I already. Oh, okay, I said hello when I read the raid message. Lol. Hey, we are here for magic. Oh no, it's okay. No, it's fine. Let's see. You do what you want to do. Well, I mean, you guys are here. All right. So let's see. First things first. I already introduced myself. If anybody doesn't know, I've reappropriated the streamer song list to be a trick list. So if anybody would like to take a look at the trick list, !TL, you can request something. Let's turn requests on for a minute. If you don't know what magic tricks are named, you can just go ahead and type in !random, and it will randomly put one in there for you. Unfocused and IA, Nalani, if you would like to request something, I will totally perform that trick for you and your raiders. And see, while you're doing that, I'm just going to put away. So I just defeated my boss trick that was going to be a closer, but now I guess I'm not going to be closing. You've requested a magic trick that isn't just cards, but also uses coins, which is like the only one that's on my list that does that. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is a simple version of the coin matrix. I'm just getting set up for it now, and then if anybody else would like to request anything, feel free. And if not, I'll just probably pick a couple of random things to show you guys before we raid out. So, all right, first things first. Let's switch screens. Here we go. All right, so first things first. We have 4 quarters. We are going to place them in these 4 corners of this rectangle, and then we're going to have a need for 4 cards. So I have 4 cards here, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cover each one of these quarters. And what we're going to do here is we're going to hopefully make it look magical that the coins are teleporting from corner to corner. Okay, so first things first, would you believe that I can make this coin jump from here to there? If you don't, watch carefully. With a little bit of a snap, you can totally get it to jump. And then same thing from here up to there. Ready, watch. And look, I moved it from there to there. And now finally for the last one, believe it or not, all of the quarters have now gathered up into this corner. And that is my handling and performance of the basic coin matrix. All right, let's see. Captain Stone Space Cadet says, I'm also here for magic. I tap my island and cast Black Lotus. Yeah, FYI, I totally also play Magic the Gathering. And actually, Gibson Lens, he was in on my first stream, which I didn't advertise to anybody, and it was like more of a, let me test all the technical stuff about streaming. And he was like, oh, do some magic with magic cards. And I'm like, okay. So I went and grabbed some magic cards and did some magic. I think, one magic trick with magic cards. But I'm thinking one day when I become an affiliate, I'll have a redeem that says, magic with magic cards. And I think that'll be a great idea. So let's see. So that was the coin matrix. Let's see. Coin matrix, nice. Unfocused says, sweet. Hi, dude, man. Okay. So we have $1. Yes, we do have $1. Spicy says, no way. Unfocused says, what? Wow. Let's see. First time chatter. Hurtk. I would pronounce that Hurtk. Hurtk. HRT. TQ. Let's see. Requests are only enabled for followers and subscribers. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you haven't followed in a second, I'll go ahead and just add a random one, and we will do that one. Stop it. I can't heddle this. Anyway, thanks for the claps, everybody. Unfocused, Spicy, Gibson, Captain Stone, Smooth like butter. If anybody is aware, I am a K-pop fan, and so Spicy might be too drunk for this. Haha. Or is he the correct amount of drunk? Because everything seems way better. Truth. Well, I'm playing right now. Oh, awesome. Cool. Yeah, let's see. My favorite format is casual format Commander, aka EDH, for anybody who's been playing Magic for a long time. Gibson Lens. Finished my dailies for today. I assume we're talking about Magic Arena, which I've been resistant in joining because I don't like the concept of dailies, and I don't really have time in my life for dailies. So, yes, Commander by now, the most popular format. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I have like 20 built EDH decks, like most of them custom. So I would like to continue using that one. Let's see. Spicy, thank you for the follow. Jurassic Park, also thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciate it. All right, so let's add a random one for her. And let's see, traveling. Oh, this one's a relatively new one. Jurassic Park. Hey, I was on Unfocused tonight, but AFK. Random. Okay, awesome. And inverted card trick. Oh, awesome. All right, let's. I'm gonna bump the inverted card trick up first. And okay. All right, let's see. Jurassic Park, since you have requested this, you get to interact if you would like. First things first, we're going to swap screens. Okay. All right. So we're going to be doing the inverted card trick. This is a card trick that is a trick that some people learn like an easier version when they're much younger, perhaps like in elementary school. But Jurassic Park, why don't you just call out a card? Just name a card. You can pick. It doesn't matter which one it is. We have 4 suits. We have hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades. And then we have all of the numbers. Yeah, you can just choose one. Yep, go ahead and tell me. 5 gold. What would gold translate to? Is this what you're talking about? Or is that one? Okay, which 5? Oh, diamonds. Okay, there we go. Got it. So anyway, the reason why I say that is basically this trick can sometimes be learned from like the elementary school kids, and you might have like an easier way to do it, but I like showing this off because it's sometimes pretty fun. So what we're going to do is go ahead and grab your card and place it into the middle of the deck, like so. Okay. And what we are going to do is we're going to do something interesting, because if I just snap my fingers, there's something strange that has happened to your card. So look, if I go ahead and I show you that everything in the deck is as it should be, except for this one card right here. And would you believe it, it's actually going to be the 5 of diamonds. Now, normally I would actually stop the trick here, but because you requested it, you guys rated in, I do want to extend it a little bit for you guys. So if I go ahead and take the 5 of diamonds once again, and I take it and I place it into the middle of the deck, like so, I do a magical snap. Believe it or not, there's actually something that's going to happen, because if we take a look, if we turn the deck over, you're going to see that one of the cards is now face down once again. And actually, if you think that you know what this card is, you should, because it is the 5 of diamonds. And so a lot of people who do this trick will just do it once. It's tougher to do it a second time, and I just did it the second time. So that is my handling and performance of the inverted card trick. All right. So anyway, thank you for the interactions, and thank you for the request, Jurassic Park. Yeah, you don't need great English here. I think if you can get the point across, if you tell me. I mean, we got there. So you said 5 and then the shape. We understand. We got it. Diamond, sorry. Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. My fault for not being as well versed in whatever language you normally speak. So anyway, thank you for the claps. Unfocused in IA. Thanks for the compliment, Spicy and Jurassic. So Spicy says, dude! Jurassic says, my gosh! Spicy's, color me impressed. Jurassic says, no way, too fast. Spicy says, that was great. And Jurassic says, the second one, it's harder to notice how you did it. Yeah, I think it's designed in a way that it's harder to detect on the second run through. And then Jurassic Park, amazing. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you for the claps. Thanks for the request. All right, and let's see. Traveling Man. Okay, I'm gonna do that one. Okay, and then if nobody else has any other requests, I am planning to raid out after that. But in the interim, if anybody has last call. So I do have to find a few cards for this, so let me just go ahead and grab them. And anyway, I hope everybody is having a great day. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves. Okay. All right. Jurassic, thanks for the close the request. Yes, good call. All right. Gave you a few seconds. I'm now going to go ahead and close the queue. All right, there we go. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see. I had requested this one. And it was a random, I think, from someone. I forgot who it was, but if anybody in chat is ready, we're going to need one volunteer to select a suit. So get it ready, and then we will begin. All right, first things first. Let's switch screens, This trick is called Traveling Man. And I'm not going to hide the fact it does require cards from two different decks of cards. So it's going to require cards from a blue deck and cards from a red deck. In this particular case, they are all kings because, you know, they're actually all kings. But I do want to show you that the kings are in the same order in both packets. So we've got the clubs, the diamonds, followed by the spades, and then the hearts. So that's the part that you need to know. Now, anybody who had selected the suit, I need the suit selected now. You could choose the club, you could choose the diamond, you can choose the spade, or you can choose the heart. It's up to you. But go ahead and drop it in chat once you do. Anybody can do this. I'll take the first one. Reaction time matters. All right, Jurassic Park, thank you. You have selected the club. And so I do want to maintain that the club is in the same position for both packets. But what we're going to do is we're going to place it just in the third position. This is all we're going to do. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and square up the packets and turn them over. So this is the red packet and this is the blue packet. But look, all I'm going to do is I'm going to transpose. I'm actually going to pull the club, the king of clubs, invisibly from both packets. If you don't see it, I have actually pulled out the king of clubs. I'm going to now put the blue king of clubs into the red packet. Now I'm going to take the red king of clubs and put it into the blue packet. Now remember, they were third from the top, right? So now if I actually count through the packet here, 3, you'll notice that this card is actually blue. Is that weird? I know, right? And it's actually the king of club. And now here we have the blue packet, but if I count to the third to 3, you'll notice that now that is a red backed card. And actually, if I flip this over and I show you, that's actually also the king of club. Now, once again, kind of like we did with the inverted card trick, if I go ahead and I just restore the packets to their normal self, so now this is the blue packet, this is the red packet, right? We can do it a second time, and it's way more baffling the second time. So look, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the king of clubs invisibly from both packets. Take the blue king of clubs from this packet and the red king of clubs from this packet. I'm going to push it into this packet here. And I'm going to take it and I'm push it into this packet over here. Would you now believe that they've swapped again? Because look, if I show you this red packet, oh, that wasn't there. Okay, hold on. All right, now it's there. My mistake. And sorry, it's not here because I did not do a weird snap. Because look, and now if I spread, and of course, if you're wondering if here's all of the other kings, and these two are actually the two king of clubs, like we said we switched. All right, and that is my handling and performance of the Traveling Man. So if anybody didn't know, I've actually thank you for the follow, a 16-bit potato. That's a funny name. I like that. Okay, let me catch up in chat here. Jurassic Park. What? Unfocused says, how? Spicy. Not possible. Jurassic. I'm really trying to copy that emote. The dog. Unfocused. Haha. Spicy. But you broke my brain. My sympathies. There's nothing else I could say to that. Jurassic. What? Man. How? Thanks for the claps, Dude Man. Unfocused. Jurassic. Gibson Lens. Captain Stone Space Cadet. Thank you kindly. Thank you for sharing your gift with us. Well, I mean, it's not like I was given this. I learned and practiced, and like this is like any other performance, like music. It's the one thing is like if you mess up in music and you recover well, it's not that big a deal. Here, you mess up, you could be giving away magic secrets and stuff. So I feel like it's a little bit risky, but I'm doing it. That's the thing with doing it live, right? So it's like I could mess up. I could mess up on stream. That's why I'm doing the boss tricks, mostly so that I get better, right? I improve. That's why you do magic. So um, yeah. So anyway, that is Traveling Man. All right. So yeah. So if anybody doesn't know and they want to see more magic while I'm not streaming, I have a YouTube channel in which I have put up a ton of magic tricks. So that's my YouTube, and I did do 100 tricks in 100 days. So if you want to see more, I actually took the time to an ambitious magic project. I performed, recorded, and uploaded 100 tricks in 100 real-time days. So that's that project, all up on YouTube, already done. So if anybody wants to just view magic, feel free. It helps me out. I'm monetized on YouTube, so I'm hopefully going to be affiliate eventually here. But honestly, I think it's just way more fun and cool to do it on Twitch, because on YouTube I don't get like this audience feedback, and so doing it here I can actually get. It's super fun being like, oh my God, how did he do that? Or like being able to talk to somebody about magic if they're interested and stuff. So, and I'm making a lot of friends. And so, by the way, a lot of people in the music community. You guys are awesome. You guys kind of like accepted me with open arms. I have fun hanging out in your streams, and so feel comfortable and enjoy myself. So this is awesome. All right. Okay, so let's figure out who we're gonna raid, because I don't know now. Let's see. I've already rated some people. Let's see. Ah, yes. Okay, so I can. Oh, let's see. We've got Patahati, Boy and the Bard. Probably my two choices out of the people that I've got left. So, anybody have any preferences? I know a lot of people in chat are friends with Patahati. I do owe Boy and the Bard a raid. I'm not sure what the raid etiquette is. Should I try and re-raid people who have raided me, or should I try and raid other people? I don't know. All right, I guess one vote, and it was our raider, so we're gonna go to Patahati because makes perfect sense. So let's raid Patahati. Raid Patahati. Okay. So let me first of all hop into a stream. I've forgotten to do this several times where it's like, oh no, there's an ad. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, they also just got a raid. Okay, so this will be fun. All right. Make sure I spelled everything right. Okay, cool. Awesome. So I'm starting the raid. Anyway, thank you everybody who tuned in, whether you were here the whole time or just for a little bit, for requesting a trick, for chatting, for letting me know what you thought of the trick. Everything was super fun. Anybody who followed, thank you for the follows. Oh, I almost forgot. Gibson, thanks for the reminder. I have a raid call. Yes, please copy that. And also, I guess while I'm here, let's shout out our raider, Unfocused in IA. Thank you for bringing your folks here a second time. I totally appreciate it. And actually, also shout out Gibson Lens as well for both being supportive of my stream since like super early days, i.e. the first stream, and reminding me of raid calls. He's actually done that more than once. So, okay. So anyway, let's head over to Patahati stream, and thank you for anybody who followed. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for just being here and just interacting and making this fun for me. So everybody have a glorious day.